Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'm going to explain a couple of things, and you're going to want to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to educate and explain in a very calm and rational and easy to understand manner for the morally superior among us why there's something called suspicion of certain individuals. I will also explain why Ray Epps will win probably $1 billion. Who knows? Hundreds of millions. We'll just say billion right now. They'll probably settle for $300-400 million. Who knows? $500 million. I have no clue the exact amount. Maybe it's out there. I read a couple of articles. They didn't give the exact amount. But here's why. Number one, Ray Epps will win the lawsuit. According to PolitiFact, he texted a family member something incriminating. According to ABC7.com, he stated a couple of things that were incriminating on video. You can actually also see the video. It's on this platform as well. The reason that supporters of President Trump and anyone with a brain feel that this is a bizarre set of occurrences is that he stated things that others, if they stated those exact things, would have been charged, even though he didn't enter the building. There were people who didn't enter the building, I believe, that were also charged. The question is, why wasn't he treated in the same manner as other supporters of President Trump that day? That's number one. So he'll win the lawsuit because the lawsuit has nothing to do with why he wasn't treated in the same manner. He'll win the lawsuit because Fox News does zero investigative journalism. Number one, they don't want to really investigate bizarre anomalies or, just bizarre occurrences or any claim Trump makes that is rooted in logic and reason, which is most of the things Trump says, even if there's no immediate evidence, there's no evidence at that moment. At least he says, hey, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Let's investigate. So when, for example, there's zero evidence that Trump was a plant of the Kremlin, yet they investigated for years and years, then found out, oh, that's right. Everything that Adam Schiff was saying, for example, and others, not true. Trump was not working for the Kremlin. But we're very suspicious and we don't trust Donald Trump. So then they made claims that were baseless, a Steele dossier, completely false allegations, paid for by Clinton and the DNC, his direct political rivals. They were fined by the FEC. And after further investigations, endless investigations with special counsels and all the New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, oh my God. They got Trump's tax returns. Then they found out, oh, he wasn't a part of the Kremlin. When Trump makes a claim and says, hey, this doesn't make any sense pertaining to 2 years ago, the results. There are lawsuits where a judge demands immediate proof of the claims. You can't provide immediate, you need to investigate. You need to get Congress behind you the way Democrats had Congress. You need to get a long, thorough investigation where Congress demands records and testimony, and law enforcement officials are doing the same thing they did for Democrats, but now they're doing it for Trump, and they're investigating, they're leaving no stone unturned. He never gets that. So he lost those lawsuits, Trump. And he said, okay, I don't really think this is fair and just, but again, so the point, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're not going to prove, Fox News cannot prove that Ray Epps was a government official because there's no evidence that he was, paid by the government in any way. That doesn't mean that the sentiment is not logical or rational, seeing that the sentiment of maybe suspicion is not a rational viewpoint, considering he was treated differently from everyone else, and a day before, that night before, he then foreshadowed what took place. It's very bizarre. So, I've meandered off into a whole bunch of different topics all at once, but you have to kind of understand everything all at once to see what's going on. Fox News would rather just pay out hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion and then just investigate. So, for example, today, the FBI director did not want to comment, did not state categorically that the individual wasn't didn't state categorically, that there weren't sources or informants on the ground. He said it was an ongoing investigation, he said Christopher Wray, the director, said, well, we can't comment on sources and methods, that type of thing. Okay? Ted Cruz had an interaction with a Federal Bureau of Investigation official about a year ago. That person also could not state categorically that there were not people involved with the United States government on the ground. Today, the director essentially admitted that there was no, that he could not, well, the admission was in the inability to actually state that categorically there was no involvement by the United States government. He didn't say that. Democrats cannot imagine the Federal Bureau of Investigation or any government agency that sides with them politically doing anything illegal or immoral. So they're going to defend these agencies as these agencies help the Democratic Party. When they go after Trump, when the DOJ indicts Trump, when the Federal Bureau of Investigation doesn't treat Hunter or Joe in the same manner they treat Trump, when certain individuals on that fateful day in January aren't treated in the same manner others are treated, according to people who've seen the aggregate viewpoint, then there's suspicion, there's distrust, and people, look, years back, if you said there's bias and that Twitter was working with the government, it would be a conspiratorial theory. Now we know the Twitter files, and still people don't accept it on the left. Oh, there's no problem. It wasn't the government. Yes, it was the government involved. Well, they were just helping Twitter follow the guidelines, and that's called government intervention. Anyway, Fox News made specific claims, but see, again, they didn't even actually, from what I understand, didn't make specific claims. If they did make specific claims, these claims were very similar to what was stated about Trump and everyone around Trump for years and years and years, and MSNBC and CNN got out of their lawsuits. So I don't understand how Fox News is getting sued, and then CNN and MSNBC get to circumvent any lawsuits for all the lies and deceitful statements they told about Trump. Okay? The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's no investigative journalism. The investigative journalism is one way. There are no law enforcement agencies, there are no law enforcement officials or government agencies siding with Trump. The occasional person that blows the whistle is then disparaged by all of media. And so you have, Ray Epps will win because he has government officials that'll testify saying we never had anything to do with this man, and he'll win $200, $300, $400 million. And whether or not years down the road, we find out that although, he wasn't working in any capacity with a government agency, there was something very bizarre that took place. It'll be too late for Fox News. They'll probably be bankrupt at that point because they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They can't go all in for Trump. In fact, that ship already sailed with the last lawsuit. So had they simply gone all in with Trump, they would just be, where MSNBC and CNN are, impervious to any lawsuit, no matter what they say. The people who lied the most are MSNBC and CNN. They, for years, said that Trump his tax returns showed that he was compromised and he was working with another country and he helped orchestrate overthrow of democracy. None of this was true. None of it was true. And so they got him on a hush money payment that wasn't even a federal crime by Democrats in New York, and they're trying to get him for classified data. Clinton did 10 trillion times worse with servers, and I think that she'll be the 24 nominee. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. Epps will win. He'll get hundreds of millions of dollars because the government will back him and say, yeah, he was never part of any government involvement. And then Fox News will be like, oh, here's the money. Zero investigative journalism, and zero emphasis on why people are suspicious.